There is no time to waste. Let's directly dive into it. Endpoint versus Apeks, and we're gonna find out who in God's name is gonna end up in MDL. Is it gonna be the Norwegian squad, or is it gonna be European mix, mainly under the British flag? Let's find out, as Endpoint already finds the bomb already on the site. Suddenly, a lot of players are pushing for long. That's gonna be a big push for a choke point from Apeks as Robin waits back into pit. His P250, not the right tool.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
So let's take a closer look at this in just a second. Endpoints in the meantime. It's the worst you can expect. What's thrown in? I mean, you hate to see it. They're now pushing full. Here it comes. No chance, really. Thomas can try as much as he wants to, but that ain't happening. And this gives us a good moment to get a little overview. In the last 3 months, Apeks have played this map 5 times, but only won it once out of 5. That was against Ambush. The other times, there were twice into double digits, 2 rounds away from a victory, and other than that, always around half points. Endpoint, on the other hand, has played this map 14 times, so finding 8 victories in 14 matches. For example, against Skate, against Tricked, actually overtime against North, which was fairly impressive to me. I was back in Anaheim, February. So, not that bad. Yeah, you have to say, not that bad. And so, let's see. Surreal and Cole move out along. Faction finds the first. The utility does its job, and the double comes in. But you have to say, the kind of nades that have been thrown in the direction of Apeks hurt them pretty much as well. 2 players overall in 21 HP. So, in comparison, Apeks only have 21 HP more on their side, but obviously 2 more players to fill that out. So, crucial. Does have a bit of a problem. His head seen anytime soon? Yes, indeed. It takes him all the way through the box. A big problem occurs right now for Endpoint as they're trapped in mid. As Mighty Max takes a bit of a different route and puts it in reverse. Long could be their destination over T-spawn towards B, yet I think that this is the best position they can go for. He's going to take on Mighty Max as he made a lot of steps towards Long, easily been hurt. Apeks keep up the lead. Endpoint keep on investing and investing. Shots like this, you put Apeks under pressure, but not there yet, obviously. Not there yet. And again, Endpoint struggling. Not too much at this point in time. So nice without the creek. Unusual, isn't it? In the meantime, Robin switching weapons back into CT. Kaz is awaiting them, and knock from the back. 1, 2, bird is granted. Triple kill coming in for the Norwegian. Apeks once more. Pick up the fight. That won't work. It's crucial. Ends the life of Truth quite early on. Things are starting off quite good. Endpoints know that they need to give 110% to finally end up in MDL. It would be a deserved slot, very genuinely speaking. I think they deserve to be in it. I have seen a few matches from them, especially against alternate attacks, and I gotta say, I am genuinely thinking that they should be capable of making this. I mean, they had a tough time in the MDL final, sorry, in the advanced finals, which was, yeah, you have to say, like, a disaster. It was a disaster, absolutely. Recently, they're having a bit of a problem in both ends. In relegation, as well as in league bets, they were struggling. Time to finally pick up some success again. And they're very much capable of that. The big problem right now is going to be Gruzarin. Not quite sure how much they got him on the radar now. They definitely do. A little weird to give that shot that early on, and so he moves away. But not quite sure if Endpoint is really going to believe in that smoke wall. As long as it remains open, he moves silently around site. A mate is coming over. Covered from ramp. They see him. They do. And now the short flash is the perfect support tool. They are blinded for a second. Another flash coming in. Zarin played this one nice, but whiffs the shots. Those seem to be free frags. And Apeks, they're losing that round in such a fashion. Crucial Sue might have been hurt, but oh, nice bait coming in. That works. Ready Faction actually on the site and on the move, back on it. Opponent is moving back towards long into the corner of car. Ready Faction definitely doesn't have any awareness of that. Yup, if Thomas could do it. Hurt his ankle break. One shot, looking in the wrong direction, and Ready Faction is out. The biggest thing that broke my heart here was really Rusarin with that individual skill there again. That was a bit painful to watch. But other than that, Apeks still in a good position. I mean, they have lost players along those 4-round wins, which is not giving the best economy though. So Endpoint back on a quite okay buy. Not the best, but I mean it's working for themselves. As Apeks is investing pretty much everything to make it work at that point. So again, another frag, and not only that, another bit of control. A good bit of control. 5-7 works for Relegation Faction. He makes this one a man equalized scenario. They know it's B. They 100% know it's B. They gotta make a quick move. Silius might just got the cross. Better angle coming his way. Flashbang over on side. Second one thrown immediately as well. I mean, he would be a quite drastic man if he just now makes it on site like this, but Saw the molly, he saw the head, and he ends the life of Robin. Brilliant shot, and that smoke was absolutely not going according to plan. At least that's what it looked like. Still, knows one is towards Plateau, the other one back somewhere on side. Has no real knowledge about him. And bringing through that weapon is the only big thing you can do. So, Apeks, a loss coming their way. Unfortunate for them. Though, considering with the weaponry they started, it was quite decent, actually. It legitimately was quite decent. This Mighty Max, oh, he's surviving. Good. It's more than good. The plan was actually not going that bad. Endpoints. Right now, bettering their situation. That's crucial. Taking it down. Zilius knows the answer. It's all coming down to long. So nobody else is coming from a different position. And he goes back on site, uses the height advantage. It's gonna get difficult now. First flick is on point. His op is such a dangerous tool, but at one point also he gotta give up. Grusarin over long might just get a good option.
Bomb has been planted.
Mighty Max with that awareness is doing it all right. Ready Faction remains, and Ready Faction most likely is gonna save the AWP if he could. Yeah, goes long doors, might just do so, or tries to do so. And he goes towards the doors. And as he's diving, in just a second, here we go. Endpoint looked sinister in the start. And at that point, I'm very much interested to see if Endpoint can keep this in the long run. That's the thing, right? That's the important and crucial thing. I'll say that. They wish they would have any nades, so they all made it out of mid though, and nobody noticed. Now they cut off the rotation. They could actually commit to B, but hope that Apeks make another mistake with her rotator. Rusarin, who's coming close to mid, is definitely more cautious. But the call from Endpoint is right. Baited them into being a B setup as they have all the info. Suddenly, the only man close to A is Rusarin. Back somewhere towards CT. The other one long would be AKS. And Endpoint take their time. Is that the right move though? Soren comes in. Back onto Robin. Things are looking still okay for a retake, but if they actually gonna do it is the next question. Truth shows himself quite easily, just shoots at something he didn't really see. And now the save is inevitable if you ask me. That's right, Faction and Co have actually seen Endpoint bounce back quite heavily. He just made the teleport work, all lining up onto long. And a triple is secured with the Arc. Okay, Endpoint struggling in this round as things could have looked better. So, I mean, I am honestly just somewhat, you know, insecure for Endpoint, as you saw them sometimes. They have these phases in games. I leave Overpass out of this. We know, we talked about that. Also in Vertigo, where they had a few rounds where you fought, okay, they lost focus off of it. They got to focus back into it, and then they fully change or adapt their game plan slightly. And there it goes. As things look still somewhat sinister for Endpoint. Never say never, especially with Crucial, as I close my mouth. Surreal is not done yet. His story just starts. As I say that, ZZ is strong enough. There it goes. 5-4. Apeks with the triple in the beginning. Make that one work quite easily.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
It's a back and forth coming in right now. And that back and forth is going to be fairly interesting to see when sites are being switched. Simple reason for that is that Apeks themselves are feeling just a little bit more. I mean, a little bit is a lie. They actually have a 60-40 rate on success regarding CT and T. So therefore, we should have a clear tendency coming next. We're gonna find out. In the meantime. Trying to take the short control, can make it work mainly. Akis can deny further access, and with the double, the bomb hasn't even hit the ground, and worse than that, they're separated from it. And as you see, that's possibly just a bit of a problem now coming, especially to Markalicious as they say that. Thomas is gonna fall as well. Robin on his own, he turns around, maybe does the 180 in it. And so Robin would clutch it on his own. So, as that one falls, Apeks with the 6th. Eco is the next step for Endpoint.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
6-4, and especially Akis, as well as Relegation, doing a brilliant job so far for the squad. You can't really deny that they are doing a lot of the work at the moment, and yes, this is with the new update. We saw a lot of Bison, a lot of Tick 9, and now Endpoint forcing through. That's the move. I don't know about it. Akis finds one and gains a lot of information over the short situation. Darn, for the moment, not allowing them to go any further. Smoke denies them access, vision, anything. So they're not necessarily trapped, but have to refocus and reconsider how to play from short on. The options are fairly massive, to say it like that. New options left. Sarn, left bottom side. Robin waits. That's what you get when you want too much information. As I say that, Crucial gets malicious through his teammates' bodies, switches over to the AWP. Already faction saw him in the past being a key fragging individual. Swings white, finds one into Crucial. Another one, not granted. So Truth might just do himself a favor by saving up that weapon. He does so. Six to 4 is all you need, and 6 to 4 is putting them in a situation where obviously it's going to turn to 65, pardon, didn't explain that part, but Apeks at that point in time, their economy could really put them in this limbo of pain in the long run. The reason for that is very simple. If we take a look at this round where they most likely see force coming up to some degree, and it possibly could, it depends on their decision making. They still wait for it, but they actually stay disciplined. Okay, would have thought they'd taken a bit of a different approach. They're the same as Endpoint did in the previous round, which granted them success. Crucial has no information about B, as the A focus is clear, and you already see Grusarn taking a different route with his teammate towards shorts. They leave long open. Every part of long is right now left open. And not like Overpass or Vertigo, where the scorelines have never been close. This one is really the map where we see both teams are somewhat equal. And that's the very interesting part for me personally right here. All of our fighting towards the till the bitter end. And there's not much more both parties can do. Thomas Molly short. 4 players remain on ramp. 4 individuals just waiting for the right call. And if Endpoint made the right decision, is it going to be a kick in the face of Apeks is the question. Another one basically. Double smoke is in. So they rotate on site. Thomas is actually getting all the hits. I mean, goodness gracious. Okay, he's moving still on site. Finds the first op. Takes him down. And now the Deagle back on site is also becoming a problem. Mighty Max wiggling and wiggling, and again it's the op strike, and again it's the op strike, and is it the 5th? Not yet. Crucial remains, and now patience is your friend. As Truth does not need to go for the peak, he does not do so. Endpoint lose this round to Apeks, just dealing with such scenarios so goddamn good. You have to say it like that. They're strong with those scenarios where it comes down to the wire, where it comes down to performing with the worst equipment you could ask for. As things start to become problematic again in middle, Crucial just knows how to take over-aggressive players down, but they're not going to capitalize on that position. I mean, they got a lot of noise for it. No need to overdo it. And this short seems to be the main position. Grusarn's time to shine. And Endpoint changes direction again. Zilius is stamped to fail. Apeks will not get round number 8 for themselves right here. I mean, man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man.
Bomb has been planted.
This one is one of the absolute craziest, tightest matchups, or likely matchups throughout the entire relegation. I'm honestly somewhat surprised and also somewhat scared of Endpoint. But not scared for Endpoint is the right way to put it. I mean, they were fighting the story. If you freshly joined us and you have no idea what it is about with Endpoint, they themselves got out of advanced. So this is one league underneath MDL. They got out of advanced with a 14-2 win-lose ratio. Played 16 maps, won 14 out of them. Went into the playoffs for advanced, took down many teams, especially one important one was the upper bracket semifinal, I think it was. That upper bracket semifinal was against Alternate Attacks, where they took 2 wins in overtime and therefore eliminated the Germans from the upper bracket. The Germans came back, and they were meeting them in the grand final. And that grand final was a best of 5, and Endpoint had a 1-map advantage. The sad part for Endpoint in this advanced playoffs final is that they got 0 out of the only 2 maps they would have needed. So for them it would have been basically a best of 3 to win. And then today's the day where it counts, which is where it all has to happen. And the day where it counts is where they, unfortunately for themselves, gave away Overpass. They play extremely strong on it, not being their map pick, but in the end, many chances to pick that one up. Vertigo, solid play. And now, it's a do-or-die situation. Starts off good for Endpoint. Surreal is already out of it. The B side now open. Thomas is getting the ticket. Endpoint will most definitely get that bomb down anytime soon. As I said, Grusarn with a crucial frag though, opening up mid-control, which could help him and his teammate access the site a little bit better. And they're taking their damn time, Endpoints. They're waiting this one out. The problem is Apeks made a lot of steps that they have been heard previous to that. Crucial gotta give the bomb away. He can finally make that one work. So Mighty Max is gonna put the C4 down. The eyes are all on Apeks and Grusarn. That boost, yep, works. Sees him and takes the Dutch Opera down. So it's more to come. Actually, nades his teammate in the process. And Endpoint needs 100% focus on that. They don't want to give another round to Apeks. That would be number 8 to secure them the half. And Mighty Max is making sure that they're not even coming close to the site. Ake is down. His teammate running away as far as possible, saving the weapon he has in his hands. Endpoint bring the 7th in. And they bring the tie. They'll be following up in a possible, and that's the thing, in a possible lead of the half. They were starting 0-4.
Terrorists win.
As Thomas starts off like this, that's exactly the way you want to see it. Endpoints, man advantage is there. They're breathing down the neck of Apeks. The side switch is going to be interesting. Apeks feels way more comfortable on the CT side. 60-40 difference, as I previously talked about. And for a second, I thought Marsilius is actually going to get that kill on Surreal, but Refaction is becoming a problem. He takes him down, free AK in his hands. And again, the options for Endpoint are limitless. They are absolutely limitless. You don't need to take any aggression. Put that bomb down. Hold the 2 choke points. As Apeks have only 1 player of armor. Ikaz has none of that on him. We actually debated why in God's name he doesn't have any, but either way. So they're trying to push through. First player window is out. And he's just back on site. Finds it first, but Akaz any further frags the night. As Endpoint takes the lead throughout the first half. As Crusard and Co. are damn ready. To get that one back in their way. I mean, it's only 1 round difference. And they really try to fake it as hard as possible on the B side for the moment. Mid is fairly open. Mighty Max will realize that soon. Surreal playing around the edge of the smoke. A brilliant first. A brilliant second. Bomb is down. Akaz doesn't even see a thing. And as he steps on site and stumbles, Endpoint feels right now comfortable. Grusarin most likely won't stand a chance in any of that. And again, I have to repeat what this is about. This is not about any nonsense. This is just a boring league game. This is the ticket for the Mountain Dew League.
Counter-terrorists win.
Apeks is not forcing through, doing themselves a major favor, obviously. I mean, at that point in time, you really gotta take care that you bring it throughout the entire wave. Everything else would be an unnecessary money waste, to put it that way. And so, easy frags coming in. I think this is nothing too unexpected. Endpoint on double digits already. And let's do a little bit of theory, right? So, Apeks, imagine they're losing this round. 11-7, economically in pain, still capable of buying maybe a deagle, maybe a bit of armor, depends. Okay, good. That's one thing. So 11-7, Apeks most likely not winning due to economic conditions, 12-7. And then it's another round where you need to see Apeks economically broken, and it's most likely done. If that's going to be the case, I mean, with the death of Crucial as it started off, it becomes a problem, especially as mid is extremely vulnerable at that point in time. Sarin and Co. consider to still split them up quite massively, see where they can gain the most ground, at least what it seems to be. And they still consider Ready Faction over long to either lurk or execute with them. As I say that, good move coming in from Ready Faction. Timing, as I mentioned it, on point. And Grusarin moves through to City Spawn, gets a beautiful shot on Surreal. But it's not done yet, as Billy Mace used to say. Apeks setting themselves in the right direction. So, Robin comes close. I mean, this man is capable of clutches. He's usually the man you see on the top of the scoreboard with frags racking up. As he comes closer, Grisarn is to his right-hand side close. He goes deep. Puts him down at 39. Still gotta consider what way to do it. I mean, they definitely know where he's coming from. But with that scenario, he saves up. Akes and Kosei screwed. We're going full force. Here they come. Akes on it. Akes on it. And he fights. What? What? How did that 180 work? It doesn't even matter. They're on the side of B. And I think I've never seen Apeks do a rush with full utility. Man, oh man, I mean, the important part is Endpoint is saving that through. Apeks, they're coming closer. Endpoint, like I said, he had this 10 frown for themselves. That is, I mean, it's getting closer for sure, but the thing is, will the Norwegian squad once more think, okay, we can abuse that? Or are they calling this a one-time thing? Because usually you would not see them do this again and again and again and again. Genuinely speaking, that you wouldn't see that. And as Endpoint try to see where they can land, the A site's well fortified by the UK work. They abuse long again. I mean, there are many positions that sometimes have been left open by Endpoint. They can use that. 1, 2, and that's too strong. Oh no. Endpoint done themselves a good favor by keeping the weapons they have in that sense and not overcommitting from an economical point of view. But it's not over yet. I mean, the long players have been hurt. Mighty Max has nothing to lose. He pushes silently through. Gets a free AK for himself. The bomb moves over to B. Funny-wise, they don't have any mid information at the moment. Now, Marsilius most likely has mid information. The frag over along. Thomas can see what he can do, but he will probably do himself a favor by saving that one. I think it's not really nuanced mathematics or something to calculate that one through. It's a bit of a shame, though, you have to say. This is the thing. Someone in map number 2 asked me, do you personally think Apeks or Endpoint are going to win those two? And I personally think those two is one of the most unpredictable maps overall. There's so many maps you can easily predict from a tendency and from a playstyle and so on and so on. But this one, a bit more difficult. Apeks find an entry again. Oh man. It's gonna be the B side, very obviously. That one is for sure, but switched route. faster and faster as they realize this could become very uncomfortable. Choice by them. Yet again, it's becoming problematic because they're so spread out that they always get a little entry here, a little entry there, right positioning, left, right, and center, and then they can play a lot. So, Thomas gets Ready Faction at least over long. That's the thing. That, though, left the B side open. Soren, if he really wants to play on the edge of the smoke, I'm quite sure about it. I mean, it's suicidal. The smoke fades, and he's just running into free crosshairs. Soren finds one, finds two! I'm gonna actually take that one away. Taking that back what I said. I'm usually not a fan of that, but it worked. And the Apeks take the lead. The retake was possible, yet we failed. That's pretty much what they said themselves. Doesn't matter for mid again, and that mid control is fast. I mean, with the pistols, you don't do it differently. Bomb is still back in spawn. Uh-oh, and that might be the end of Thomas. Man, it's just a body shot away from dying. Ready Faction, pardon me. The damage they deal is extremely important. They leave the bomb, though, back in spawn? Oh, now you gotta check so many angles. It's crucial. That's the most important one. That was the immediate threat. Pardon. So Mighty Max considers to move a little further. I'm really asking myself what the plan of truth is. He could go... No. I would say you could go under tunnels, lower tunnels. Look into the upper direction. As I say that. Gonna be naded away. Alright then.
Terrorists win.
As Ready Faction starts to refract on Thomas, unfortunately, the art director does not like to see that. This is so tight. This is so close. I mean, legitimately, I would have not said we're getting such a close match. And now Crucial. Oh, he's failing. Left, right, and center, but luckily for him, got the M4. And the flashbangs from Surreal is surreal good. Ah, you love to see that. The perfect support. And that gives them a round. Bomb still. It's it. And Endpoint. Most definitely right now a team. I remember I was talking to Tobin, who's part of Endpoint, who then said, I am sure, or I'm quite sure that their coach, Ross, I think his name is, said that he's working a lot on the mentality of Endpoint. And that could be a crucial aspect for sure. 100%. Because you need to see how much focus you need in such games, in such tight rounds, in such tight situations. And again, this is about a lot. This is just out of any regular points or anything. This is about qualification of the Mountain Dew League. The big stage, or let's say one station before the big stage. So Grusarn and Co. I'll make it with one less. Akis already down on the ground. Truth, Grusarn, and Basilius gotta see where they end up. Relegation definitely hurts his opponent's step on long. Moves back into pit, stays hidden. And this is the point in time where you gotta stick to all the basics. Page 1 to 5 in the Counter-Strike rulebook. And that's pretty much all the chapters about teamwork, peeking all together, so on and so on. And as I say that, Relegation on his own can't do much as he was trapped in the double doors basically. Perfect support from Crucial as he was not expecting him to come that close. As I say it, everybody from Endpoint is now on route. And that will become a problem. Marsilius down in the ground. Another one coming, that's for sure. On here, Sarn falls. Truth could do the ace. I doubt it. And that's actually not happening. Endpoint with the 13. If Apeks money is okay, workable, but not great.
Counter-terrorists win.
Surreal finds the first, pushing out mid one by one. Oh, Apeks. That's what I mean. Page 1 to 5. The essential rules, and surely double doors is a narrow spot, don't get me wrong, but Yob has all the time in the world to put a new one in the chamber. So, Endpoint is back in the driver's seat. And Apeks is getting a way off mark, especially when we take a look at their money. 2.9 is what they get. Their losing bonus is not really allowing them, maybe outside of Relegation, to get proper weapon plus armor. And no, Bison does not count as a proper weapon. They still can do it, don't get me wrong. It's 50 seconds and Relegation, if it gets an easy entry on the side of A, this would definitely open up doors, but a molly like Robin has it. Really putting up big problems for them. And Marsilius, who moves away, could actually do the mid to B smoke. Don't do so. Suddenly, one player down to 8. The clouds are getting darker over the heads of Apeks. Still, they're trying to go for the B side. And Mighty Max, if he doesn't do a big mistake, it should be pretty much easy for him. Surreal fails. As I said, Mighty Max. That's his time. Surreal, Kendo find another. And now playing on time would be the key. This leaves the side fairly open. It gives True frags. But he doesn't plant. Forgets about planting. I mean, he probably didn't have any chance and realized that he needs to play free-for-all, but Apeks. This one could be done and dusted. And the match pause comes in. It doesn't even matter if it's Apeks or Endpoints. Legit. You gotta talk about this again. If it doesn't matter if it is for Endpoint right now, once we're discussing to keep their cool, to keep their focus, or if it is Apeks, which is more likely to me, discussing strats. Endpoint is 2 rounds away. 2. from getting into Mountain Dew League. So Robin and Cole just gotta play it down to the basics. And I feel a bit like in 2016. Good old Tech 9 coming through mid. Overdoes 2. The molly is perfect. This is not allowing them anything. Another one falls. Frags are coming in left, right, and center. Poor Truth is on his own. This Crucial gets him through that smoke. A single round it is. And Apeks. This must be frustrating. This must be really, really frustrating for them. At that point in time, it's down to them. And they don't roll in cash. Surely they bought everything, but not big time. And they might just lift past their expiration date. Though that frag on Surreal in the middle was overdue. And it could be another kick in the face for Endpoint. We saw the amount of times on Overpass where they got so close to victory and it ended up in overtime. And as I say that, Ratifaction is down. Molotov lands brilliantly. Players for short need to do a move, but the only one actually making the move, that was Grusar, and the man is now trapped. Everybody from Endpoint made a move on the side of A, and if they now can find frags left, right, and center, it would be crucial. The bomb is down on ramp, and that was a gift from Apeks. They didn't need to do that. The bomb is not even close to sight. Truth, it's your choice. It's not happening. Endpoint have done it.